karma is real, then why do white races get away with oppressing black people, and why are black people still oppressed? Valid questions, wrong understanding of karma. I have answers, but only for those who can handle truth, accountability, and complexity without flinching. If you align with lies, denial, binary thinking, or victimhood, your chest is gonna cave in. So just get out of here, exit now, click away. I'm answering these questions as a PhD sociologist who walked away from racial justice work after more than 15 years for the reasons I'll describe in point number 3. I'm also an occultist who specializes in spiritual justice and manipulates karmic mechanics for my clients. This is what most people don't understand about karma, oppression, and why freedom seems elusive. Watch all 4 points till the end and watch on 2x speed if you need to. Point number 1. Karma is energetic physics, not fairness. As I detailed in my last video, karma is not synonymous with punishment, morality enforcement, eye for an eye, or even fairness as humans would define it. Karma balances actions energetically, not literally and not in the same form. White folks won't get shackled on plantations, but they are experiencing the energy of oppression in ways I'll explain. Karma is multidimensional. It operates at the individual, familial, racial, systemic, and national levels. If you're in the United States, for example, you're living America's karma right now. Karma is also temporal. It operates across lifetimes and generations. 500 years of slavery and Jim Crow created massive karmic debt. Slavery and Jim Crow lasted way longer than it's been over. It's only been 60 years since civil rights. The math doesn't add up for instant resolution. Collective karma settles slower than individual karma. When you understand these mechanics, you can then manipulate karma and accelerate justice. But first, you have to see that it's already working, which brings me to my next point, point number 2. White people are experiencing karma. You just don't recognize it. White people are paying karmic debts collectively and individually. You don't see it because you expect karma to mirror the original harm exactly, and it just doesn't work like that. Globally, whites are the racial minority, and their population is shrinking, especially in places they've dominated, including the United States. Their birth rates are collapsing, hence the desperation around population control and particular policies, especially the overturning of Roe versus Wade and immigration panic. Their systems are destabilizing as Black people rise culturally, spiritually, educationally, economically, and politically. The opioid epidemic has been the deadliest drug crisis in recorded American history, and it disproportionately devastated white communities. White men have the highest suicide rates in America. At the individual level, many white people live in a psychological prison of guilt, shame, ancestral trauma, and spiritual emptiness. Most Black Americans are socially isolated from white people's inner world, so you idealize them and think they're better off than they actually are. I've had raw conversations about race with my white colleagues, acquaintances, and students for decades. Many are hollow. Their families are riddled with abuse, dysfunction, addiction, and quiet desperation. Many of their households and upbringings were plantations of oppression. Material wealth without meaning is soul death. Again, karma balances energetically and in its own timing. If you want faster consequences, there are ways to manipulate karma and get justice outside of karma. Which brings me to point number 3 of why Black people are still oppressed. Why are Black people still oppressed today? Multiple realities and dynamics exist simultaneously. So first, karmic balance is in progress, but full completion takes time, given the scale and gravity of racial oppression. Second, Black oppression is weakening socially, educationally, economically, politically. Third, Black people can accelerate karma, facilitate justice, and advance freedom through ancestral spiritual practices and magic. But again, karma works through action, not passivity. Waiting for justice is spiritual laziness and bypassing. Inaction creates karmic debt that perpetuates oppression. Experiencing oppression doesn't remove your agency or your responsibility. You still have power. You are 100% responsible for doing what you can to create your life in spite of oppression. But here's the real question you must answer honestly. Is the present day Black American collective in energetic alignment to facilitate freedom? Is the present day Black American collective in energetic alignment to facilitate freedom? Is the present day Black American collective in energetic alignment to facilitate freedom? Hell no. While many Black individuals are, I'm one, the collective is spiritually misaligned and directly participates in its own oppression. There are countless examples of how, and I'll mention, just 3 or 4 examples. One example, the disproportionately high intraracial Black homicide that the community likes to downplay. The Black community refuses to fully hold Black perpetrators accountable, all while disregarding Black victims and their victimization. This perpetuates the oppression you complain about, and it creates massive karmic debt. Another example, Black Americans rejected their ancestral spiritual practices that contain spiritual codes and technologies for liberation in exchange for the oppressor's religion that siphons and suppresses your power. 80% of Black Americans are Christian. You adopted the slave master's religious practices and wonder why you're still bound. When the slave and slave master prayed to the same God, whose prayer got answered? Another example, the dishonor of Black children. Black children are the poorest subgroup in America, have the highest rates of abuse and neglect, and are subjugated as inferior objects who serve the interests of superior adults. Many Black parents and adults yell and cuss at Black children as if they're an inconvenience and proudly whip them into submission. This sounds eerily similar to the slave master's antics. The dehumanization of Black children inflicts long-term trauma, and it contradicts our pre-colonial indigenous values where children were honored, protected, and held as reincarnated ancestors in many cultures. Failing Black children is the single most factor that keeps the Black collective energetically stuck. Another example is colorism, which is a strand of white supremacy that says that dark skin.
I see, karma is real, karma is not real. I can tell you for a whole fact that these people are already getting their karma. You understand? I really understand from the part that this lady is coming from, and I really appreciated her for breaking it down for us to understand. But the truth is, white people are already suffering what they built in the system. They are already enjoying the system they built for themselves. Because at the end of the day, they were thinking the system will literally punish Black people. They were thinking the system will literally go against Black people only, while right now they are not seeing that the pits that they actually dug, they have also fell into that same pit. You understand? So I still stand on that strong belief that what these people are passing through right now, the white folks community to be precise, is even more than karma. Because after every single thing that they've literally done to Black people, oppression and the rest of that, they are surprised that Black people are standing, that Black people are wasting strong, that Black people are making it. They are still amazed. But anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you, liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And guys, with that being said, let's dive right and continue this video. I will be back with commentaries, and please shout out to every single creators in this particular video. You guys follow their page as well, okay? Let's
is inferior and light skin is superior because of its proximity to whiteness. Most Black Americans are colorists, which means they agree with the colonizers that they are inferior. They are admitting to being inferior. Colorists uphold the exact white supremacist ideology that justifies slavery, lynching, mass incarceration, and subjugation, yet in the same breath have the audacity to demand freedom, all while being energetically and ideologically aligned with your oppressor's system. How can a black collective demand karmic acceleration while participating in the same karma? How can the black collective demand justice for black oppression while simultaneously oppressing black people themselves? Self-betrayal carries a heavier karmic debt than out-group betrayal. Whites are not obligated to be loyal to black people, but you are. If white people are paying karmic debts for harming black people, what do you think is happening to black people who unjustifiably harm black people? These spiritual realizations are why I walked away from racial justice work and divested from the Black Collective. I facilitate karma. I don't interfere with it. I give nothing to the collective. I burnt that cape years ago. I center myself, my family, and give my overflow to the small percentage of black individuals who truly want freedom and are willing to do the work. This brings me to number 4. The path forward, these are solutions for serious people only. Understand this critical point. The collective experience does not have to be your individual experience. Just because the black collective is still oppressed doesn't mean you have to be. I'm not. You can unplug and save yourself from the community's karmic loop. What I've learned through my professional experiences as a sociologist and occultist and my personal evolution is that the highest return on investment is at the individual level, not rescuing the black community, not trying to dismantle systems overnight. The individual level is where you have the most control. Here are 5 individual level solutions for serious black folks who are willing to do the work. 1, divest from victim mentality immediately to reclaim personal power. 2, divest from white supremacy and black dysfunction. Both are poisonous prisons. 3, get money. Financial freedom creates insulation, protection, and options. 4, use magic. Ancient practices contain liberation technologies. 5, consciously create the life you want. You are the architect. This video is getting long, so if you want me to elaborate on these 5 solutions, let me know in the comments by commenting part 2, and I'll elaborate in the next video. Follow me if you're serious about freedom and thriving, not comfort, not validation, and not just survival mode. But in conclusion, karma is working, justice is underway, but it requires your participation, not your passivity. If you're waiting for the oppressor to free you or the system to be fair, you've already lost. If you're waiting for the collective to wake up, you'll die waiting, like our heroes did. Individual sovereignty is the most viable path to collective liberation. The question is, are you willing to walk it?
A group was formed to take you down, and you blocked all of their evil eye and lying on your name, and they can't figure out how you're still going. So I know you got a bunch of mental turmoil right now, wondering how did you find yourself in this predicament yet again, because you don't even be talking to people, but they somehow still find you. And once again, you're probably doubting your reality, even though you know what it is. But these people are like lying on your name, putting a bunch of evil eye on you, forming group chats to talk about you, hoping you'll fail, and all these different things. And it sets you back a little bit, but you always bounce back stronger. And you got to understand, like, you can't really be around too many groups, and you already know that yourself. But you will get over this situation as well. It's not going to be that bad. But they're now looking at you like how you are still going, because they thought that all of that would have made you break, would have gave up and stuff like that. But they fail to realize that you've went through this before. More times than you can count. Like, what time is this now? It's like your 10th group, 15th group. But you have been dismantling groups for like your whole life. So it throws you off a little bit, but you always bounce back and alchemize that energy to get stronger. And that's something they will never know themselves. They'll never know how you are able to do that.
There's a very strange energy that's happening right now, and you may have noticed a few things. It feels like the entire esoteric realm currently is on fire and crashing and burning to the ground, kind of like that Tower card. You may have been noticing a very, very, very strange series of events. You may have had people that you don't know that may be coming for you. People showing up very angry, very frustrated. And I know these things can seem like everyday events, but this would be supremely abnormal. I mean, like, you're in the grocery store and people break out into a fist fight. You're at work and people are gunning for you that you have no awareness of who they are, or they just popped up out of the blue. There could be a series of things that could be going on that's extreme like that, and that's what I'm meaning by if you're noticing these different events within yourself. If you felt like the energy's been off, 1 minute you're fine, the next minute you feel like you could literally scream and peel the paint off the walls. This is the type of energy that I'm talking about. It's really feeling like that the esoteric realm is completely at war, and not how we've known it to be. There is something very, very, very different about what's transitioning. And I strongly feel like this energy is there because there is a war that is going on. But like, again, this is not average. There's literally people that are outside screaming right now, and it's late in the night. When the universe wants to give confirmation, it gives confirmation. Literally, there's people across the street yelling. I have no idea why. A couple of days ago, same thing. Yeah. No, as a matter of fact, it was yesterday. A lady and her boyfriend was in a fight, literally outside. Busted out a window in the car. The lady is spent at least an hour driving up and down the street, speeding, blowing through stop signs, and more. When I say this is like supremely crazy, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like there's a energy war that's transpiring. This energy war is trying to rope you into nonsense. When it does, do what you're supposed to do, and that's it. Say what you're supposed to say, cut it off. Nothing more. Because at this point, there are energy vampires that are trying to sip and pull and drain everything. And they are trying to figure out how they can get a hold of any person, place, or thing that is going to feed that energetic habit that they have. That energetic feeding that needs to take place is it is at an all-time high. It's like full moon to the 5th power, to the 9th power, to infinity, and then further. So if you have been noticing any of the events that have been transpiring like this, you're not crazy by far. You're not. As I said before, there is an energy war that's taking place, and like this is it's an increase. It's like the negative energies or entities are sifting through to find they've already lost. They've already lost the war, but yet they're still grasping for straws, so to speak. And any little bit of information or energy that can be pulled is what they're doing. There's a severe war that's taking place. And you are not to get caught in the crossfire. You may have already been almost roped into some things, realized what was happening, drew back and was like, whoa, what is happening? Well, that's what it is. It's an energy war that's taking place, and it's heightened. I don't think I've ever seen it like this. Like there's just a lot of things that's going on right now. So if you've been feeling that craziness, again, you're not crazy. It is an energy war that's taking place. Salt baths, different types of smudging and energy cleansing, prayers, mantras, whatever it is. If you've got some old dusty material, some books and different things that you need to pull out, do so. It's a necessity. And speaking of books, I went and pulled out this the Fermentation Oracle to try to get a feel of what kind of direction to go into. This Fermentation Oracle is designed to kind of give you some feedback on what type of herbs you can use in order to assist in trying to keep yourself cleansed and stable. These cards are sticking. I mean, they're sticking bad too. As you can see, they're fairly new, but I guess I'll have to do this the really generic, interesting way in order to get these to feel apart. But I feel like this is really weird how all of this is coming out too. Like even the energy for this night and what's going on with this reading is like really bizarre. It's like everything is like under attack. It feels like everything is under attack. I just put some plants out. We got plants all around, and I put some plants outside because it's finally starting to kind of warm up a bit. I went outside, had my plant outside 2 days, and the leaves look like they were scorching, and it hasn't even been hot. Like I said, there's been a lot of strange activity that's been going on. And so you need to be very mindful and very protective of yourself physically and energetically. And so I feel like we need to kind of pull. In effect, I'm not going to force. I'm going to flow. So however this works is the way it's supposed to go. Let's see what you've got going. Healing and make self-care a practice. I'm gonna put these cards up for you. Look, whatever it is you normally do, I was going to actually go to the information that's in this book and read out of it what it says specifically for these cards. No. Follow your intuition. Go with the flow. Whatever it is that you normally do, whether, like I said, if it's, I call them Cleopatra baths. So all it is, it's a bath that you put essential oils, Epsom salts, things like that in. It actually physically heals you because of like the I think it's like magnesium and different things that are in Epsom salt. It physically and spiritually, energetically cleanses you. Do things like that. Whatever your self-care is, when you actually do your self-care, take the time out to start doing that now, like immediately. Do it like it was yesterday and it's in dire need. It's very important. Something is really, really going on. Like this is that when I say strange and unusual, like I said, the energy is crazy. There was some people screaming outside, like I said a little while ago. Like this is crazy. Even in my workplace, there has been a lot of riffraff, like abnormal, like it's insane. And I know that there's some things that's happened esoterically as far as like astro. I don't know if you heard that, but there was just a loud boom. take care of yourself. Now I gotta go figure out what's going on with this. So, with that being said, to go with love and light.
These people are still surprised. I can still say it with my full chest. How Black Americans are living, how they are vast and strong, how they are literally going high. A lot of them thought by now, a lot of Black Americans would have left America to any single destination. A lot of them thought when the orange man literally comes on seats, the people that will suffer it or the people that will feel the pain are literally Black people. But now they are biting their tongues in pains. They literally knew that the system they created for themselves has finished them. Now they now understand when Black people are saying, we warned you. Because it is not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, where we literally keep seeing their videos every single time crying. They are the ones that are crying for food the more. They are the ones that are crying for Medicare the more. They are the ones that are crying for childcare the more, food stamp the more, like name it. While in real context, these people thought that Black Americans were enjoying this thing more than them. A lot of them thought that Black Americans were literally wasting and taking what belongs to them. You get? That is why they literally thought they had privilege where the privilege was not even noticed. The privilege was not even given. The privilege was not even recognized. So now a lot of white folks are coming into that reality that we have literally used this particular system to destroy ourselves. A lot of them are now saying, if only we knew, we wouldn't have even voted for Kamala. We wouldn't have even voted for the orange man, we would have voted for Kamala. Now let's even keep the vote part aside. For centuries upon centuries, for decades, Black Americans have been the one that have gotten segregation, Jim Crow, redlining. So in normal human sense, I don't know if you guys are getting where I'm actually going to. In normal human sense, you should not understand that for someone that has went through all of this phase, you should not be strong enough. You should not be bold enough. In fact, by now, you should be crying and begging for help. But here is the thing. A lot of them are surprised that Black Americans are not crying and begging for help. But instead, they are becoming millionaires, trillionaires, billionaires. But instead, they are standing and building their family. Instead, they are still making waves in the economy, despite how hard the reality is. Go on social medias, go and check and see people that cry more about what is happening currently. Then you start asking yourself, what happened to all of their privilege that they so claim that they have? What went wrong with their privilege? Because a lot of them thought that the moment the system is no longer comfortable for Black Americans will be able to have an exit alternative. Even after reclassifying everything, burning things in the library, even after removing things that were supposed to trace Black Americans' lineage, they are still standing. They are still building. What kind of people are these? How are they surviving? How are they thriving? Why can't we thrive like them? Why can't we succeed like them? Why do we still go on the streets and still beg? Why do we still cry for shelter? Even with all the privilege that we have. These are a lot of things that is running through their head. These are a lot of things that is running through their mindset. And at the end of the day, Black Americans keep going forward. Now, this can only happen to people that their hands are clean, people that their hands are pure, and their hearts are pure. Because imagine you know the system of how this country is. You've been in this system. All of a sudden, someone just come up, twisted everything, made it look like you are the criminal here, made it look like you don't have a place, made it look like you're an outcast. And at the end of the day, you are still wasting strong. This is what a lot of white folks are still surprised. They don't know how it's happening to date. But it will definitely continue to happen. Yes, it will continue to happen because Black Americans are not the problem. The problem is you as a white person. So either you believe in karma, either you do not believe in karma, either you believe in FAFO, either you do not believe in FAFO, either you believe in justice, either you believe in equality, what will be will be. In fact, the suffering alone for some of these white folks is even better for them to even reverse it, that Black Americans should just take over. That is what a lot of them wish right now. And that is why you can go online right now and see a lot of white folks advocating, speaking on behalf of Black Americans. So Black Americans are just the main key. They are the blueprint as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, who am I? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you, liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. And guys, thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. And guys, please follow every single creator here, okay? Credits to them. Bye for now. I love you guys. Mwah.